everyone. This is Mr. Moorhead. I will be helping you through your credit recovery IM3 class. Obviously, things this semester are much different. Pretty crazy time in the world and definitely a crazy time in terms of education. So I will be doing my best to help you through your math. Just to kind of let you know what's going on, we have a Blackboard course that's set up, and I'm going to walk you through that right now. And I'm also going to have lab hours, and those lab hours are going to be held through a program called Zoom. Um, and I'll explain that a little bit more at the end of this little talk, and kind of talk about how I can help you out, through Zoom. But first, let's talk Blackboard. So when you go into Blackboard, you should have an IM3 Credit Recovery Spring 20 class. So you would click it, and it takes you into here, and you see this announcement page. So right now it's just a standard announcement that tells you, kind of how to work through the course. So for each chapter, there's homework and vocab, there's a quiz, and there's an exam. Look at this announcement section in the future because it will have the invitation to our Zoom meetings that you can stop by, get some help. So the Zoom is a pretty cool app because it allows me to have several students in there, just like it's a class. It's pretty much like a virtual class. I can use the whiteboard on Zoom, and then it allows me to answer any questions you have. I can put problems up. I can go over problems. You can ask questions. So it's a pretty good opportunity for me to help you out through Zoom. I know it's much different because it's a virtual class, and I've never taught a virtual class, and you've probably never sat in on a virtual class. So it'll be different, and it's also an opportunity for me to kind of privately go over quizzes and exams with you. So it should be a pretty good program. So look in the announcement section here for. I don't exactly know when the lab times are going to be, but look in the announcement section here, and it'll help kind of navigate when you can find me on Zoom, and ask questions. And just to know, you can email me questions anytime. It doesn't have to be when I'm available. You just if you have any trouble with any of your work, just go ahead and send me an email, and I can try to answer it the best I can. So let's go into Blackboard real quick. I will try to, I know normally when we have like an orientation, usually lasts like an hour. I will try to make this as quick as possible, hopefully about 5 minutes, and just kind of get you started. So when you go into the Blackboard, you'll see these buttons on the left. You want to click coursework. That's kind of where everything is. And you'll see these chapters. If you need all 10 credits, then you would just obviously start at the beginning and you work your way to the end. So you have these chapters to go through. If you need the first 5 credits, you would do chapters 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then after 7, there's a midterm, and I'll show you where that is. If you need the second 5 credits, you go down to chapter 1. I know it's kind of weird to go chapter 1, but we've put chapter 1 in the second semester. Chapter 1 is kind of a chapter that, that doesn't really have anything to do with any of the other chapters. So we put chapter 1 in second semester. So you have to do chapters 1, 11, 12, and 13, and then there's a final at the end. So let's just kind of talk about what the chapter folders look like. So you go into, let's just assume that you're starting in chapter 4. Right here is the homework worksheets. You can click on this and print them. You can click on it, and you can see see the assignments, and you can just write in a notebook. That is fine. I did put the answer key right here. Obviously, in times like these, I think it's important for you to have as much resources as you can. So if you're working the problems, you can check your answers. And so I think that's a tool that is pretty much a must right now. Here's the vocabulary right here. So you just click on these. You can print the homework. You can print the vocab. And when you're done with those, you can scan them, take a picture of them with your phone, and you can email them to me. And so here's a resource to help you with your vocabulary. And here's some video lessons. So if you click on the videos lessons here, it's not me giving an instruction, but basically there's a really cool website called Edpuzzle. And so I was able to go on to Edpuzzle and find several videos that talk about some of the concepts you have. So here's characteristics of a parabola. It's just a quick little minute and 40-second video. Some of them are a little longer. This talks about the axis of symmetry of a parabola, just a minute 23 seconds. And Here's kind of a longer one, but it talks about the vertex form of a quadratic function. So it's a 9-minute video. Um, Definitely, worth your while to watch these um, for two reasons. It could help you, kind of see what's coming up in the chapter, or as you're working on the section, if you're having trouble with a concept, you could go to these videos and maybe there's something there that will help you understand it a little bit better. And some students actually, right before they take a quiz or exam, they like to watch these videos because it's a pretty good review. There's just a bunch of videos here that's that is on the concepts that are in chapter 4. So I would use these, especially since you don't have class time, and you're at home all by yourself, probably with nothing to do because you are probably um, stuck at your house. So you have lots of time to watch videos. Um, so, uh, so I would use these videos. All you do is you just click them to get started. Sometimes with some students, it requires you to put a code in. I can't really show that because when I click it, it takes me right to the video. But I know some students will just click this to get started, and uh, and when they do it, it wants them to join the class or it wants them to put in a code. So I've seen that a couple of times. It doesn't do it with all students, but once in a while, if it does, if you're having any trouble getting on, there should be a code they give you, and you just put that code in there. You don't have to create an account because you're going to log in with your Google, and but it does give you a code sometimes. If you're having any other trouble, just make sure you email me, and I could probably walk you through it. Especially on Zoom, is we could meet on Zoom, and I can walk you through it. Um, but those resources are there for every chapter. We also have some activities. These aren't assignments that are due, but they are things that might help you understand the chapter a little bit better, some of the concepts in the chapter. There's just some activity apps on here. Let's see. I'll just kind of walk you through like here's an activity right here. There's no homework assignment or anything due. It's got the graph of a parabola, and it talks about vertex form. This is that's the standard definition of vertex form, and you can just move these around to change the equation. So you can see right here in blue as I'm changing, it's changing the equation, and you can see over here that the graph is changing. So I could you could see as I'm changing the a value what it's doing to the graph, as I'm changing the h value what it's doing to the graph. So it's kind of a good tool and good resource, and I have several of these activities here. So who knows? Maybe that's a good activity that that might kind of make some of the concepts a little bit easier. Kind of resonate with you, and make some of the concepts a little bit easier to understand. So that's what you have in chapter 4. Is you have the homework, you have the answer key to check your answers, you have the vocab. This is just a website to help you with the vocab. The video lessons we talked about, the activities, and then once you've done all of that, you're ready for a quiz. Here's the quiz. There's no password for the quiz, so you can take it whenever you want, and you can take it as many times as you want. It's just a good kind of reference, I think, to before you take the exam, to kind of let you know what the exam is probably going to look like. It's not an exact replica of the exam, but it's a pretty good indication of the type of problems that will be on the exam. And so usually what I like to do is I like to go over the quiz with you before you take the exam. I know things are a little bit more challenging now that we're not meeting face to face, but who knows, maybe possible you take a quiz. If the quiz was easy for you, you might just go straight to the exam. But if the quiz was challenging, it could be an opportunity for us to meet on Zoom and go over the quiz together and maybe answer some of the questions that kind of give you some trouble before you take the exam. For the exam, there is a password. So you will need to meet me online to take the exam. So you will have to schedule that in terms of just letting me know. Just let me know when you want to take the exam, and I can let you know when I'm on. We can work that out, and then you can come on the computer on the Zoom program and take the exam. So I think that's about it. at least it's a good reference to kind of get you started. So I think the main thing is look in the announcement section. I will be sending emails as well, but look in the announcement section for times that you can, ask me questions on Zoom. You can always email me. So I think that's probably the most important thing is the communication, especially like at odd times like these. You can send me an email anytime. And if you're having concerns or questions, please don't feel that I'm any farther away than just an email away. So you can send me an email and say, I'm taking this quiz, I was lost or I needed trouble on this. When can we meet? And it doesn't even have to be during class time. It could just be an opportunity that I say, I'm available tomorrow at 10 a.m. Are you available? And we could meet on Zoom and I could go over that quiz or answer some of those questions. And then, like I said, I will also be having class time. If you can't make the class time, I totally understand because like it will be at different times, and who knows, maybe you have something else scheduled at that time as well. So I will be posting lab times that you can meet me on Zoom, and just show up for questions, or definitely, I can't stress this enough, is just send me an email and we can meet at a different time. Or who knows, maybe I can answer your question over email. So anyway, okay, take care. Good luck. I look forward to helping you out through this, and I will be patient with you, and I hope that you're patient with me because this is definitely an odd time, and it's new for all of us. So, okay, all right, take care.